Yes, welcome back to Football Heritage TV for the second episode of 10 in 10. This is a chance for me to speak to football content creators, ex-players, pundits, and get their 10 questions in 10 minutes. They don't know what I'm going to ask. Welcome, Stel. Can you confirm you don't know what I'm going to ask?
I do not know what you're going to ask.
Fantastic. And don't worry, I'm sure we'll get some great answers. Stel, nice and simple. And for anyone else who's watching this for the first time, I ask a question. You got 1 minute to answer it. After that 1 minute, I'll cut you off. We'll move on to the next one, but try and make the answers at least 40 seconds or 45 seconds so that we've got some content. So, Stel, are you ready to go?
I've got my Studio mug, so yeah, ready to go.
Question one. Are you ready?
Let's go.
What's your favourite Spurs signing of all time and why?
Jurgen Klinsmann. I was a teenager, and when the news broke, it was literally a world-class signing. And from day one, he scored a goal, diving header, I think it was against Sheffield Wednesday, and he did a sliding dive on the ground. I was in the airport at Gatwick, about to go on holiday with my parents, and it was on the TV, and the whole airport jumped up and cheered. And it was just from day one, it was just excitement and a wow factor moment, which is very rare from a Spurs signing. So yeah, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah, dare I say it, not a single world-class signing since. Moving on to the next question. That's me saying that, not Stel, by the way. Next question. Who would you rather have as manager, Pochettino or Ange Postecoglou? And there is no fence sitting. We need an answer. Oh, look. Oh, look at the pain in the eyes.
Poch.
Why Pochettino?
Best football I've ever seen Spurs play. I've never been so proud to be a Spurs fan. If he was backed the way we always keep talking about, I think he would have won everything. I think he would have won the lot. He never got the backing that he really needed. And you're beginning to see Chelsea steadily improve now as well. I just think Spurs and Poch was just the marriage made in heaven, which was ruined by Daniel Levy. But if you ask me that question in 2 years' time, I might be sitting here saying Ange, Savva. So
I know what I'm doing with these questions. Don't you worry about that. I know what I'm doing with this. The next question is, question 3 is, what's the best Spurs game you've ever been to and why?
Hands down. When we beat Chelsea 5-1 in the was it called the Carabao or the Littlewoods or the Milk Cup, whatever it was?
Like that.
It's the season we went to Cardiff, Millennium Stadium, and we lost to Blackburn 2-1 in the final, right? That semi-final, myself, Shine's mates, my brother, we went to Spurs. We were in the Paxton Road end in the old stadium. The moment we walked in, I've never in my life felt an atmosphere like that at Spurs. At any game, it was phenomenal. And we scored in the first couple of minutes, and that was it. From that moment to the end, not only did we batter them 5-1 after drawing 1-1 at their ground or losing 2-1, I can't remember. Not only did we batter Chelsea, the atmosphere was second to none. I've never experienced an atmosphere as great as that. I've come close, but not quite like that.
So Tottenham 5, Chelsea 1. Next question for you, Stel. What's the best away ground you have been to and why?
The Dragão in Portugal, the home of Porto.
Right.
You weren't expecting that?
Because... No, I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting like something like St. James's Park or something.
Yeah, like Anfield or something.
Yeah.
The Dragão in the home of Porto FC, because me and my mates, we just randomly got a plane, cheap deal to Portugal because Greece were doing well in the Euros. We thought, let's just go support Greece, see what happens. They've only gone and won it, but that semi-final, I remember we couldn't get into the home section with the Greek fans. We found tickets outside on the cheap, and we ended up in like the family mixed fan zone, but that's not where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then the Greek fans, they saw us trying to find a way in, and they've rocked the cages and they brought the whole thing down, and we all got stampede just into the home end. And that for me is the best non-Spurs game I've been to. So that stadium for me has got unbelievable memories. So the Dragao all day long.
The Dragao. There you go. Many of us weren't expecting that. Next question, maybe slightly easier. Who's the best goalkeeper you have ever seen in a Spurs shirt? I'm sure it's not the best bunch to pick from, but who's the best
That I've seen
in a Spurs shirt?
Oh, bloody hell, Savva. That's a great question.
There's not many, is there? There's not many great goalkeepers we've had over the last few years.
I would have to say, in his prime, Hugo under Poch was top.
Yeah,
I know he began to regress and his distribution went to crap. But I remember that game in the Champions League when we got to the final that season, Dortmund away. Dortmund for 30, 35 minutes peppered us. And if it wasn't for Vertonghen and Hugo, I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah.
But I would say Hugo Lloris in his prime.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Hugo for me is right up there. I've always got this soft spot for Torjvet. I don't know if it's nostalgia or what. I love those little shorts and the top that looked like it was too small for him. You know, those days.
And the spiky hair with the gel.
Yeah. The original Viking. Yeah. Next question for you, Stel, is this: what's the worst signing Spurs have made in your opinion? The worst signing. Now you can put whatever metric on this you want. The worst Spurs signing and why?
Do you know, I'm genuinely tempted to say Richarlison because of the price tag. I'm seriously tempted to say for £65 million to be a striker, what we've got is shocking. It really is.
I thought you
shocking.
liked him. The way I thought you talk about him in a glowing reference. I thought you liked him.
Yeah, I think technically he's right up there, Savva. Challenging for Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. So Richarlison.
Tempted, but then
does Tungai run him close?
At least Tungai scored some goals. He created some under Mourinho. Tungai wasn't that bad. At least there was something. He was just his attitude and his laziness is what stinks. But I'm just trying to think. I mean, you got Stambouli.
There's some bad ones. There's some bad.
Do you know what? I'm going to say Richarlison simply because what we've got value for money. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's so bad.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right, moving on to the next question. This is a nice, easy one for you. If you had to pick one playmaker, who would it be? Would it be James Maddison, Van der Vaart, or Eriksen? Obviously, all in their prime. Who would you pick if you could only have one of them in your number 10?
Yeah, it's Van der Vaart, isn't it? Van der Vaart all day long. Eriksen was good at pinging those balls and scoring goals. He wasn't someone that would create something out of nothing, though. Maddison, I would have said Maddison, but these injuries keep costing him, and it was similar at Leicester. Van der Vaart, I mean, freaking hell, for Spurs, he was brilliant. Created, scored, could beat a man. Van der Vaart is, I know we said earlier on, since Jurgen Klinsmann, we haven't signed a world-class player. You'd have to say Van der Vaart probably comes close.
Sure. And the fact that it was so unexpected, and this was the signing that coined the phrase Levy time. Do you remember? It was this signing that for about 15 windows after everyone said, Levy time is coming, and then it never did again.
No, we got Sissoko's and Kevin Donglay's and
Gregor Reziak's. Yeah, so Van der Vaart, right?
Yeah, Van der Vaart.
Van der Vaart. Okay, another easy one for you. What's the best goal you have ever seen from a Spurs player?
All right. There's loads.
You can give me a handful if you want.
I think Berbatov's goal away at the Emirates when we lost from the angle he scored was just something else. I think there was a Berbatov goal where he received the ball, spun it around the back of a player, went up the wing. I think it was against Charlton, maybe. He scored an
Charlton Athletic. It was against Charlton Athletic. I remember that.
That was a great goal. Ginola, the solo run and finish. I think for me, best goal I've ever seen. So I'm gonna base it on a live game. So one of I was actually at the game, okay? Because there's so many. It's gonna have to be Paul Gascoigne's free kick against Arsenal in '91. That's my first ever Spurs game not at the ground.
Yeah.
We got the tickets through our school. I don't know how the school got them, but I won some kind of prize, and we went there. As a Spurs fan, I was allowed to. I was in the mix, mate. When Gaza hit that goal against Arsenal, who won the league that year, we stopped them from doing a double. That goal was something else. The way he struck it for me, Gaza 91 semi-final.
Gaza 91 semi-final, great answer. God, there's not many like him. I saw someone yesterday saying that Bellingham was better than Gaza. I won't go into that now, but madness. The penultimate question for you is the best footballer of all time, not Spurs related. Who is the best footballer of all time in your opinion, and why?
Do you know what? I had a feeling you might ask this question, so I actually thought about this before I come on.
Am I that predictable?
I just had this is the kind of question that people would always ask. Who's like your favorite best player? Whatever. Look, there's so many greats, but maybe it's a childhood thing. Maybe it's just what he did for the club. But Diego Maradona for me, even the name Maradona, it's just
He weren't bad.
He is everything I love about football. It weren't about money. It weren't about looks and image. It weren't about going to the biggest and best clubs only. He was a pure footballer until he got into what he got into. But Maradona, man, what he did for Argentina, what he did for Napoli, what he did for football, absolute class.
I'm guessing if I ask everybody that question, his name will pop up quite a lot, old Maradona. So Maradona. Great player. And the last question is, what's your most controversial opinion about Tottenham Hotspurs? So something that you think that everyone else might hate, but you know in your mind you are right.
All right, controversial, right? Controversial.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder where this is going.
You've asked the one person that could probably list about 10 things.
I know. That's why I'm intrigued to see what the answer is.
I think the one where I got the biggest backlash from, and it spiraled eventually actually into all sorts of nonsense. Anyway, it's when I put a tweet out a year ago or 2 years ago saying the fans are the problem at Spurs. So the fans are the problem. And I have been right, because not all fans, of course. This constant defending of some of our signings, the board, the way we just, we're going to win the league after 10 games. It's just our fans at times. Not at times.
We are funny.
There's a section of our fan. Yeah, look, you probably agree with me. There's a section of our fan base that are a problem, and they either cause the banter that we get dealt with, or they just hold us back from actually trying to push for the kind of change that will make us successful. But that's, in terms of controversy, that's probably the biggest one. The fans, you are the problem.
You're the problem. I love that. And just time for one quick bonus question in just a 10, 15-second answer. Tottenham Hotspur at home to Aston Villa Sunday. What is your score prediction for this game?
Man, I'm going to sound so negative doing this show, but I think with Darren Davies and Højbjerg, I think all three will start. I'm so worried. I really am. And without Basuma and who's going to play attacking mid, I sadly see 3-1 Villa. I want to be wrong, though. I so want to be wrong, but I do think we're going to lose 3 in a row.
Yeah. Well, listen, brilliant. Stel, thank you so much for giving us all those opinions. Thanks to everybody for watching. Hopefully, we're getting good feedback on these 10 in 10s. Quick, snappy answers. No one's got any time to think about their answers. That's brilliant. Join us live tonight. Stel will be back. Spurs Unleashed, 8 p.m. See you then. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come